Hey everybody, Rob Ferretti here, and today's video is sponsored by Dollar Shave Club, which is terrific because I've been using them for a couple of years now, and Dollar Shave Club saves me a lot of money. I'm not going to say it's a huge impact on one's life, but saving $20 a month for getting good quality razors and a good quality shave without wasting money is something you should look into. For a limited time, new members get their first month of the Executive Razor with a tube of their Dr. Carver shave butter for only $5 with free shipping. That's a $15 value for only $5. After that, razors are just a few bucks a month. This offer is exclusively available at dollarshaveclub.com/superspeedersrob. That's dollarshaveclub.com/superspeedersrob. Dollar Shave Club is the smarter choice to get a great shave at a great price, conveniently delivered right to your home. Join the Dollar Shave Club and never buy blades in the store again. What's up everybody, Rob Ferretti here, and welcome to my video today. Today we're going to talk about the Z06 class action lawsuit, and my gut reaction is it's a load of horse shit, and I'm just not one for class action lawsuits to begin with. Class action law firms are generally all scumbags who are the ones that walk away with the big payday, and then they trickle down a couple of dollars to whoever the people are that are the class, effectively. What a class action lawsuit is essentially where it doesn't really make sense to file individual lawsuits, class action lawsuits come in. That means there's more than X amount of people with the same problem. So instead of a company or a person defending themselves against 1,000 different lawsuits alleging the same thing, you have one lawsuit covering 1,000 different people who have suffered the same grievance. So, class action lawyers make a living at this. And I believe, and I don't know where I read it, but I think the company that is suing General Motors for this is the same company that is always suing General Motors for something. So, that may be the lawyer that people chose, or in other cases I've seen lawyers actually come out and find you and say, would you like to form this class, and we're gonna, they woo you with some money and whatnot or whatever. So now the basis of the lawsuit is sort of what I take issue with. Now it's fairly well known that the Corvette Z06 has heating issues, and when I say heating issues, on-track heating issues, as every supercharged Corvette ever has on a road course. It heat soaks, and the new Z06, to prevent that from getting too bad and damaging the engine, they've made it so it goes into limp mode. And that magic time limit seems to be about 15 minutes before it goes into limp mode. So here's my issue. Yes, there's clearly a flaw in the car, and that it's not the best suited car for lapping a racetrack. And I don't think that it was ever advertised as a track car. And this is what the lawsuit is alleging, that this was sold to everybody as a track car. And they cite an advertisement where it says designed on the racetrack, like track inspired, stuff like that. That doesn't mean it's a race car. There are manufacturers that sell race cars. Porsche sells the Cup cars. And Ferrari sells the challenge cars. Lamborghini sells their race series cars. Those cars, if somebody's selling you a race car, they're selling you a car that has safety equipment, roll cages, stripped out. That is a track car. That doesn't mean it'll put down a fast lap on a track, because you know what? The car will put down a fast lap on the track. They designed that Corvette to be a very quick, very competitive car. And it does exactly that on the street for 99.9% of the driving, and for just delivering that performance day in and day out without overheating or having any issues. Those are the people that buy it. They didn't sell you a track car. They sold you a car that can also put down a hell of a lap, and I'm sure their lap times are not made up. If it lapped Laguna Seca in a minute 28 or whatever, I don't know if that time's accurate, but if it lapped that, I assure you, you give that car to the proper driver and it'll lap that track in that time. Now, a lot of people that are buying these as track cars, any car that you've ever bought as a track car, there is or any street designed car you bought as a track car has had to be modified to be driven for lengths of time on the track. It's just the way it is. Cooling is probably the number one thing. You have to install differential coolers and brake coolers or different brakes altogether. These are all common things when you buy a car and you decide that you want to track it. But to say like they've deceived you, and the head of the class, the guy, or at least one of the guys cited, the first one that I read, was a guy from Florida who bought his car in December 31st of 2016. Now, they've been producing Z06s for about 2 years at that point in time, and the overheating issues were well known, that if you're trying to lap a track, that there are overheating issues that come into play if you're doing like 30 or 60 minute sessions on a racetrack. Now, you can't buy a car claiming you can't be a track rat, buy a car and not know those issues exist. So you knew exactly what you were signing up for, but there's probably aftermarket fixes. There's probably ways to bump that threshold. Regardless of the fix to the problem, you didn't buy that car as a track car. You bought it as a street car, and now you're claiming that GM is not warranting it. They're selling it as a track car, and they should be warranting it as a track car, and all of this nonsense. And that's where you're wrong. No manufacturer has ever, Lamborghini, if you get your car inspected, or even Ferrari sometimes if you get your car inspected, they'll warranty it if you use it on the track. But you have to have it inspected shortly thereafter. You have to get it inspected before the track, after the track, and they'll continue to warranty your car. I don't think GM does that. I don't think it's their responsibility to do that. And I don't think that it's rational to say, like, I'm tracking my car, so you should be warranting it. And that's a big thing. And you've seen these come up all over the internet where a dealership will go to social media and see a guy's tracking his car, and then they're looking to void the warranty. I don't think a warranty should be voided wiring harness, things that don't have any direct, they don't come up as a direct response to the track use. But if you do something on the track, if you burn through brake rotors, you blow out your clutch, if you do anything or your constant overheating issues, as a result of track use, which is not why these cars were designed. A car designed for track use does not have a foldable seat. Like, all of this stuff that a track designed car is not what you're buying when you go into a dealership and walk out with a car. Any car that the manufacturer sells as a track car should not even come, or doesn't come essentially, as a car that's even registerable on the street. It is a race car, and you're buying a race car, you know you're buying a race car. And that's where I think my problem is. This smells very fishy to me. It seems like a big scumbag class action lawyer thing. And effectively, to me, that's what it is. And there's nothing you're going to be able to say. And I've just got bad taste in my mouth from class action lawsuits and all the nonsense that goes with them. But this is guys that knew what they were buying. They bought it, and then some lawyers probably talked them into filing a lawsuit. And it's all bullshit. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think GM, let me ask you some questions. Do you think GM sold this as a track car, or did they sell something that was capable of putting down a good lap? The same way they manufacturers tout Nürburgring times. That doesn't mean they want you to go on a racetrack and that's what they're selling you. They're just saying this car is capable of doing this. It was track inspired. Mercedes claims they have Formula One technology in their cars, or whoever, because they bleed the stuff from the racetrack and it eventually trickles down to the car. That doesn't mean they're selling you a race car, and that's where I think it's nonsense. I think it's all a load of horse shit. I'm going to put a link in the description to the class action suit. I caught this on Jalopnik, and I will catch you guys next time. If you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe. Don't think you can go out and buy a Z06 now and try to claim part of this lawsuit. I think it's a dirty move, cheap trick. I don't like it, and those are my thoughts. But I also don't like lawyers very much. Ciao, everybody.